143, we are just completing the table, finding the rule, and then finding the slope. So what we want to do first is, if we look at this table, it looks like we don't have any consecutive pairs. So that is like I have my input output for 0, my input is 0, output is 2. And then my closest to that is -2 and 4. So I don't have my -1 and I don't have my +1. So let's take a look at these two pairs that we have here. And to find the slope, or to figure out what it is changing by each time, we're going to do our change in y over change in x. And remember this, this triangle is the delta symbol, so that's delta, and it means change in. So change in y over change in x. So let's see, if we look at our inputs, we have 0 and we go to -2. So that's a change of -2. And then if we look at our outputs, you know what? I did change in x on top. I should be doing change in y on the top. So it should be -2 that goes on the bottom. Change in y goes on top. So we have 2 and we're going from 2 to 4. So that's a +2, a change of +2. All right, so our change in y over our change in x is 2 divided by -2. So you might know, hey, that's -1, and if not, put it into the calculator. So -1 is our slope. So we actually did b first, and that's okay. So we will say m equals -1, right? Because m is the slope in our equation, y equals mx plus b. All right, now that we know it's changing by -1 each time, we can complete the rest of our table. So if I go from 0 to -1 and I'm growing by a -1 each time, I would be working backwards. So it's going to be it's going to be a 3, a +3 here, because that -1 is going to, the -1 as an input falls right between our inputs of 0 and -2. All right, so knowing that, if I go from 0 to 1, I'm growing from 0 to 1, and I'm growing -1 each time. So 2 plus a -1 gives me 1. All right, and to go from 1 to 3, I would be moving 2. So if my growth is -1 and I'm moving 2 to get from 1 to 3, we are going to have -1. And then finally, let's see, if my 3 is -1, you can extend the table if you want. So we are missing the values 4, 5, 6, and 7 as positive values. So that means that 4 would be -2, 5 would be -3, 6 would be -7, and 7 would be -8. Oh, no, sorry. 6 would be -4. 7 would be -5, and then 8, an input of +8 would give us an output of -6. All right, so we have completed our table. Now we just need to find the rule. And remember, a rule is always written in y equals mx plus b form, which is slope-intercept form. So we already know our m is -1. So y equals, you could put -1x. I will tell you, the more mathematical way of writing it is just -x. That's how you'll see it in future math classes. So it's going to be y equals negative x plus b. Well, b is my output for an input of 0. So let's see, I have my input of 0 with an output of 2. So my b is 2. And our rule is going to be y equals negative x plus 2. And that is all for this one.